Alright, bro. We're gonna do this again because I had a problem doing this shit. You can see my mouse here. Um, I'm just gonna try to talk over this video that I already made. I posted it too. Then as I was watching the video, I realized that my voice was not even recorded. So we're gonna have to do this all over again. But I think in the beginning here, I was just finna go into a free play. Oh no, I was finna go into a recording of a recording while recording the recording. You see? Now I have two recordings recording each other. So now I'm in free play here. I'm gonna try to explain some things here. So in this situation, um, I'm gonna keep like going back until I get it right, I guess. Wow, that's annoying. This is great recording, by the way. Okay, okay. I'm gonna try to pause it here. Okay, in this situation, I see that my car is facing this way, right? You can see my mouse, guys. You guys can see where I'm trying to paint. But the ball is going to come here. It's going to hit the ceiling. It's going to come down. It's going to be like somewhere probably around here, then pop back up, right? So knowing that trajectory, I should try to meet it up right here, okay? So let's see how well I can, do all this. So here it is. It comes down. I'm trying to meet it at its point, so obviously it's popping up. It's gonna pop up anytime now. And I'm meeting it in the sky. I'm meeting it in the sky, which is, again, in this game, in Rocket League, you want to try to meet the ball, not, you know, chase it. And there's situations where you chase it, there's some situations where you don't, but in a situation like that where you're ahead of the ball, you kind of don't chase it, you just follow its trajectory. That's like usually also a defensive tactic too. So you don't want to be chasing the ball when it's in that situation where the ball is kind of behind your car. And because of this, I followed his trajectory. I hit the ball correctly, and also you have to put it into mind that I'm also going at the same pace of the ball. Because of going at the same pace of the ball, I'm able to get a perfect touch pretty close to my car so that I can keep the air dribble going. But you'll see here I'm like kind of shitty with mechanics, so I popped it up, which was perfect, and then I did like some bullshit right there. So obviously, look, even in this corner here, I'm following his path. I'm gonna go here to the corner, not chase the ball on this side. Why do I chase it? You know what I'm saying? I'm going to follow its path. Follow its path. Follow its path. You're gonna hit it right. Look, after this, you're gonna be like, wow, Mo Money, you're so cracked. How are you this cracked? I'm gonna show you how I'm cracked I am right now. If Mo Money can just play the button. So you see here, like even this, but I got the trajectory wrong because I thought it was gonna bounce into the corner and then bounce up, but it bounced into the wall and it bounced down. So now I have to fix my trajectory going downwards. I fixed it a little bit, you know. See it, cause look at me. I'm finna explain exactly what I thought. It's going in, but it's coming down now, right? You see how it went down? I'm trying to fix now. I fix it. I end up touching the ball. You see here, I'm also following this path. Boom. I get that finish. And you'll see here, I'm also trying to follow its path, but I'm shit. It's going faster than me, then I should. Like in this situation, this pass would have been a little bit shit because I wouldn't be able to reach it. Because I thought I was going to reach it here, but I should have kept going more straight. So if I had, look, had I gone more straight and met it instead of chasing it, it would have been better in my situation. Here, mechanical issue, type shit. And then next, I'm gonna slot this shit. Now another thing with the pop-ups, like look at me. I'm going ahead of the ball, I'm above the ball, so now what do? Just let go of the fucking, boost, man. I'm going at the same pace of the ball too. So once you're going at the same pace of the ball, you know you're good. You don't gotta do much about it. Let me go back to this. In this situation though, like the ball is popping up. So instead, I reacted going upwards. And because of that, I'm able to reach the ball perfectly. And so once I reach the ball perfectly, I realize, okay, now I can let go of the boost, and then now I can start my play. you can see how I'm going at the pace of the ball. I'm able to still get this perfect touch for an air dribble, like flip reset. You know, I'm ass. So like if I was to play this right now and get a flip reset, if this was Pro League, this is a goal. But I'm shit. Okay, so we're gonna hopefully play. So you see, you know, if I was better, this is a goal. But another thing about this game is I'll try to see it. It's kind of there is like that part of the ball. It started to reach its max point of being in the air. So when you see its max point of being in the air, you kind of like as it's rising, you kind of want to chase the ball, and as it starts falling, you kind of want to, you know, go to its trajectory. You don't want to chase it instead. You kind of just want it to fall on top of you. And when you let it fall on top of you, it like bounces off your car perfectly. So that's another way of kind of like getting air dribbles correctly is kind of just if the ball is going up, you might as well keep going fast. If the ball is coming down, try to meet it at its, you know, like at a point when it's going down. It could be any point. You want to at least try to do it as close as possible to the max point. At its max velocity, you get like this perfect fucking like speed with the ball in your car. So like it's better that you do it like that. Here too, like I followed this trajectory, but I completely missed the ball. Like I didn't even like go under it or nothing. Here, the same thing. You know, you guys can pause this video, but you know, I'm trying to put my ass into this corner right here so that my car, with the face of its, you know, tries to go into the net. So here, I hit the ball perfectly though, to be honest, because I know its trajectory is gonna bounce out this way. It's gonna bounce out this way, so I'm just gonna positioning my car so that I can get that hit perfectly. And look, I met it at its highest point, so I got that perfect fucking air dribble. Because I met the ball as when with that pass, I met the ball as it was still in its highest point. And as it was a little bit about to drop, I touched the ball so that it bounced up with perfect speed. And I was going at the same pace. Same pace, which allowed me to do all this to begin with. So don't think like you can just do a flip reset no matter what. It's really how you're going at it. So here again, I'm going to do this flip reset. And then look, I'm going to pop the ball up. Look, I'm going to try to meet it up here. I'm going to try to meet it up here. Not here, not anywhere else. I'm going to try to meet it up here. So I try to meet it up there. I get that touch, that perfect touch. All because I met the ball correctly. I met the ball correctly. And then you'll start to realize that in like higher ranks, you know, you'll meet the ball. They just seem faster than you guys. But in truth, they're not faster. They're mentally faster. They already know where to meet the ball. They already know the trajectory of the ball, which is which is really the hard part about this game is really trying to understand where the ball is going to go in the first place because sometimes in these corner bounces they could go anywhere, you know, like the walls. That's like the crazy part about this game. So I'm also trying to explain something here I didn't explain in the video. When the ball is going in the air and it's falling down, now let's say it's falling down and then it's hitting the backboard. Okay, where is the ball falling? It's gonna keep falling down, obviously. It's not gonna go up because now the ball was already flying. So if you're trying to read a double tap on a ball and it's already falling, you should know to try to get a little bit above it, but also not too high above it because you will miss if you're a little bit too high above because the ball's going down. And now, let's say the ball, you just slammed it up into the fucking backboard. Obviously, it's gonna go up, so you might as well go as high as possible. There's no point in being below the ball. You want to be at higher. You want to be above it. So in that situation, you want to understand those two, especially with the backboard reads. You know, backboard reads are not easy, but if you know its trajectory, you're gonna get it no matter what. So let's see if there's anything else. Obviously, you want to go at the same pace of the ball. If you're going at the same pace of the ball, that's when you have control. So in this game, you want to be at the pace of the ball if you want control of the ball. If you want the ball to be next to you and do all these fancy shit, you have to be moving with it the same pace. Another thing though is you can just go fast as shit, hit the ball, and do whatever they want. Because look, you can go fast as shit, and also the ball can go fast as shit, and you guys will still be in that little flow state. That's why you have that moment where you're like, no, but if I go fast, the ball is gonna be with me. But yeah, because you both are going as fast as possible, going at the same speed at a fast pace. So it doesn't mean, just go fast. Some moments though, going fast means you're trying to score, or you're trying to make yourself not as awkward, or you're trying to pass. Okay, when you're trying to pass, you want to hit the ball as hard as possible, maybe as soft as possible. So like these types of things, like why would you go at the pace of the ball if you're trying to boom it away? Because you didn't want control of the ball anyways. So in that situation, you don't want to be at the pace of the ball. If you want control, you want to be at the pace of the ball. Simple as it gets. So I think I think that's Loki kind of it. Especially with these passing type plays. I do these passing plays a lot, like with my trainings, because I like doing passing plays in general. So like that stuff just takes hard shit to learn, anyways. Shit, did I? Oh, now I'm like in training. Am I really in the training right now? Am I serious, bro? I'm tough. Okay, so here in this picture. So enough about the tips and tricks. I kind of gave you tips and tricks on higher level Rocket League. It's not gonna work if you don't already know how to hit the ball. So in this game, you gotta already know, like let's just say like you gotta already know how to hit the ball in order to put in those tips that I just told y'all. 9 minutes ago or whatever. This shit says 9 minutes, so I'm just gonna think it's 9 minutes, even though it's not. So think of it like that. Those tips are only gonna help you if you're in those situations of Rocket League. Like this is situations like probably like Champ or Diamond will help you guys a lot. In this part of the section, I'm kind of gonna go over like rotations and like positioning. Like also gonna talk about the most overused rotation idea in Rocket League, and it needs to stop. So first of all, in Rocket League, you can have any type of play style you want. Okay, first of all, there can be a team that's hella defensive, and there can be a team that has like all three of their players in the half, just going ramming at the ball as fast as possible, which means 50s is very reliant, and the enemy's got to be close too, because if you're 50ing and there's this huge gap and they're right next to each other's ass, they're gonna score no matter what. So if a team is playing literally as close as possible to each other, the best way to beat them is obviously defending close and also booming it. So usually in this situation, you kind of want to have two defenders and one guy who's just sitting across the fucking field, just waiting for a fucking pinch or a pass, and he's just gonna score. Because in these situations, teams like that, it's better to counter them than trying to attack them. Because if you attack them, you'll just fall for the bait of thinking, oh, it's your time to go, even though it's not. Because that's not the strat that you're supposed to be doing. So people got to understand that there's counters to each strat. And once you start realizing what type of way a team is playing and you lost that team, you want to try to watch those replays. I swear, watch those replays and see like, wow, bro, they're literally ball chasing after each other. Like, why is that working? You gotta also figure out like, is your teammates positioning helping you out? In that situation. This is why Rocket League is so good on threes and like fucking esports, bro. Because you could do anything, and you gotta know the counter to it. Obviously, there is some strats that there's no such thing as a counter, because one guy could just be mechanically so much better than y'all, and you know you get put in a sticky situation, and that's just what happens. So in this situation, I'm gonna go over like a simple formation style. So in this situation, this team is playing a C. You could clearly see it like a C formation. So it's the normal rotation, the first man right here, the second man, and the third man. So in this situation, this is first, second, and third. But you can do it like this. You see, like me right here, if I had been closer to my brother right here, this is my brother right here, I could have played in the middle here, in the gap where the other team is not playing. So in this situation, if my brother had boost and control of this ball, he could have passed it to me, and I could have shot it at the net. basically a passing play. And this means, right here, right now, what we're in a position we are in a triangle formation, okay? Same thing with them. They are in a triangle formation, basically. But you could have an upside down triangle formation, which is a passing play formation, technically, which allows the person who is second man, in quotation marks, second man, he's technically last man. So usually in this situation, you want your most mechanically or defensive player on your team play this spot, because one boom ball and one like 50 that goes crazy and it goes down the line, it's gonna be awkward as hell for you. You're gonna need a lot of good defense on that type of stuff. So in this situation, I think this is a picture or is this the actual video? We're still on the picture. So a formation, basically the formation. In this situation, there's a gap in the middle. Your offense wants to try to explore that gap instead. So the next time you make a play style, don't go into the line, because look, we are now in champ. Things like this are not going to work anymore. You can't just beat one guy and a second guy and a third guy when they have full boost. You want them to use their boost, okay? You want them to use their boost. This is the whole point of why you do these plays. You might not score off of it, but you're making them waste boost in situations, and then it allows you to play simple and then score goals. Some people just think you got to keep doing this, keep doing this, keep doing it. It just becomes one big rotation, and it just makes whoever makes a mistake first basically loses the game. And so sometimes you can play like that, especially if you think you're a mechanically better team than the other team, like in this rank. But like in esports, they don't do this. If a team is mechanically so much better than the other team and they're playing normal rotation, why would you play normal rotation against them? You might as well play a different way to try to score a goal. So this is why esports is like the way that it is. So teams don't play this normal formation anymore because of that shit. Because there's always an exploit to the formation. It can't just be OP forever. So we're gonna go into the video now, and I'm gonna explain something here real quick. In this situation, my brother has gone for the ball. Okay. Now Nilla, he is second man now, so he goes for the ball. I know that we're not playing upside down triangle. We're playing normal formation, so he should go, and I should go next. I should technically be going next after Nilla's play. Okay, yeah, I forget I'm like kind of talking to. Let's see what happens here. Nilla, he's just gonna go for the ball, I'm guessing, and then he just like scuffs it. So now I kind of put myself in this situation too. I should have went to the wall instead, because we were technically doing normal rotation. So I should have went to the wall, but I did upside down triangle play, which was kind of incorrect in this situation, which kind of put us awkward spot. But in this situation now, Ibra, my brother, is first man and I'm second man now. So technically, I have to rotate all the way back here, and my brother can just, get here and then push up. But instead, you know what happens? My brother, he has no boost in this situation. So guess what happens? He kind of just goes for the mid boost, which kind of puts us in an awkward spot because it hits the wall and now it's going to probably go like in the middle or something. So in this situation, we know we both can't turn because they have control over it. No matter what, it's a 2v3 right now. Our teammates in fucking Africa. So we know this is going to be awkward for us already. But what makes it worse is, had these guys played the ball right in between us, we would have both overcommitted. Because in these situations, you technically, my brother is first man, so he can go. But the play feels so awkward that this guy also feels like he's last man. And so you both will just go and run right into the ball, either pinch it together and it's not going to help y'all out, or you're just both going to miss because you say, I got it. And then you technically don't got it. And now the other team has just literally no one to shoot against. It's just the open net. So in this situation, it was kind of awkward for my brother, and it was awkward for me. So we're both selling in this. We're both likely fucking up this round right here, being in this position. So in this case, my brother should immediately just go here instead. Just say fuck it, dude. So instead, he tries to go in the wall, And then it kind of puts me in an awkward spot. Like, okay, is my brother gonna go for this ball, or should I then step in? So then it kind of like gets into this spot where it's like, okay, I clearly see he's not going to the ball because now he's turning away from it. But then he's turning away, right? So I'm now getting ready to go. I should be getting ready to go. But then my brother, he's not really rotating. He kind of still is trying to get into this play. So it kind of confuses me on now we're in a even stickier situation. Who goes here now? One of us feels awkward, and one of us is awkward whether he should go or not because of the other person. So you never want to be put in these situations. Thankfully, it doesn't lead to a fucking goal. At least he fucking saves that shit. But like, we just got ourselves out of a fucking crazy situation here. And now look, our formation here on our fucking defense is ass. Like, had this guy just pinched it all the way across and swiftly just stayed in his spot, they would have easily scored because now there's a gap behind us. Gotta understand these gaps. They are now triangle formationing us. They are choke holding us here. But he runs away. He basically just gives us this space. So now if this guy was to go for the ball, the 50 to the right would be actually easy for us. So we get that 50. So now I realized that Nilla's pass to the middle wasn't good enough. So I have to now rotate behind my brother. Rotating behind my brother in this situation is so much better than staying here and hoping that he's also going to give me a mid pass, right? Because now we have no one in the defense. And even if he did clear it out to me, it would just been saved anyways. So now my brother has to go for this ball. Maybe if it just fucking plays. Oh man. Damn. Video's not gonna be as good as I thought. Okay. In this situation, I kind of want you guys to guess where my brother should be, or where I should be. Because in this situation, my teammate can no longer pass me the ball because he's not doing it the whole game. So I should know, instead of sitting in the middle now, I should just play right behind him instead. And my brother should just play in the middle area. So now, let's see what we do. In this situation, it goes up to the wall. Had my teammate pass me the ball, would have been nice. But instead, I rotate around and giving my brother the space instead. Now, why did I do that? Because in this situation, I was already in an awkward spot. I was already in a position that was to have a mid play pass, but it was fucked up and I couldn't do it anymore. So I might as well rotate back. And I know my brother is behind me in this situation. So then look, my brother goes. I come here. I'm explaining this situation really well. I know how Nilla has been playing the whole time. He's not like turning when he's going for boosts. He's just like turning on the ball sometimes. But in this situation, I noticed him because as I was going the ball, he just was front flipping all the way back. So in this situation, I knew he was going for this mid boost no matter what. So in this situation, had I dove in and had a shitty 50, there would have been this huge gap on our teammate. And it's also his fault for doing that in the first place. But I noticed the situation, so I instead of challenging the ball, I just slowed it down. Try to get close to the ball. Maybe I need to make a 50 when I need to. And I know my brother also has zero boost. In this situation, I know how my team is playing right now. They have zero boost. They're going to want boost. So I might as well slow the play down. Why should I speed it up when they have nothing? So I slow it down. Now my teammates are in position for the next play. Look, this is actually pretty good range from each other. So now look, teammate goes, perfect. Perfect play. My brother should know to go automatically because he knows I'm rotating back now. No matter what. So now we get a goal off of it. Really good goal. Honestly, really good goal. It's just being situational awareness from your teammates and from like just understanding your opponents. Look, they're all in this corner here. You might as well already be here in this gap. Like there's a huge gap. So like you got to understand the gaps in this game. There's gaps everywhere on the field. Try to fill in those gaps, Sometimes it's really good that you filled in the gap. just don't fill in a stupid gap that makes no sense. So here we gotta start it again. In this situation, yes, I need Nilla to go in the middle, and I need to rotate here. But instead, he does it, so it's fine. So now Nilla should go here 100%. No hesitation. So he goes 100%. Now, I kind of scuffed it a little bit. I should have just waited. But I think it was just because I was trying to, I think it was in the air. Now in this situation though, our teammate, he shouldn't have rotated the way that he rotated anyways. So, oh my god, are we just gonna skip this part? You see how he rotates this way? Even though he knows that we're trying to go over here. So it kind of like causes a very bad situation. So you see here, I took a touch here because I knew if I boomed the ball, he was just gonna, get the ball. Obviously, he was gonna be like throwing the ball away. So I'm taking a touch here. I still have full control of this ball. I still have full control of this ball though. So I tried to take a 50 here. Oh my god, bro. I guess I gotta watch this thing the whole time. So now I gotta come here, waiting for his hit. I went in the air to try to see if they were gonna challenge me or not. They didn't challenge me, so I just took a touch here. So I took a touch, and now I'm trying to get for a 50. But now my teammate's in the way. He thinks it's a pass, even though it's not a pass. Knowing how the other team is playing, we shouldn't be doing this. We shouldn't be playing down the line. We want to play in the middle. We don't want to play down the line. This is just causing us more trouble. So now Swiftly is challenging Nilla. Nilla hits the ball to the fucking sky a little bit. He kind of does a little tap, and Swiftly just dunks Nilla. He absolutely dunks Nilla, and it just puts my brother in a really awkward spot because now he knew he was really just trying to get. My brother only turned because he knew I was gonna go for a 50. So he knew I was going because I was gonna. I literally was telling him going for a 50 right here. Then my teammate went and hit the ball. That's another reason why solo queuing is not good. But I mean, yeah, dual queuing, whatever, bro. It don't matter. So now my brother is flat-footed against this unchallengeable, unpredictable shot because our teammate just decides to hit the ball for no reason. Okay, there's no saving this. It literally went to the crossbar, and my brother's trying to save it. He's trying to get up there as fast as possible. It's a little awkward, but in this situation, he shouldn't have panicked. He should have just waited. But obviously, he's already in the sky, so you kind of like it's still a hard situation. So they score off of it, and there's more. There's just like I just wish he never touched it. To be honest with you, like that was really scuffed of him. And then he just like misses the ball here, and it's just like confusing what he's trying to do. See, like I'm trying to try to create this middle pass play. Like here in this situation, I know that my teammate is trying to go down the line. He's been trying to do it the whole game. And look at them. They're ready for it. They're ready for it. So I was trying to hit the ball mid. I kind of scuffed it. It's whatever. Shit happens. Now look. There's this gap now because my teammate wants to go for boost. Guys, don't do this, bro. This really like sells your rank. Had my teammate been closer, he would have had a goal. He literally would have had a goal. Like it's really bad. Like you don't like try not to use boost, bro. Just I swear, like don't get like this hungry for a boost sometimes, bro. Like just look at your positioning. Like really focus on that shit. So in this situation, had Nilla just turned and just grabbed that boost right here, this play would have gone right to him and he would have scored. He literally would have scored. Had he just, oh my god, man. Had he been here already, he would have been right here because the play would have gone wide. So in this situation, sitting right here is safe. Is the safest area you could have been in. So look, the pass comes across. They pass it right back into you. That's the best. That's like And the only reason you don't score that is because you positioned yourself bad. And now me and my brother are rushing ourselves back at our net because now you shouldn't even be challenging this anymore. You should not be challenging this anymore because look how close he is to the ball. Now look at this big gap you just caused. You created a pinch. Look, you got 50 like a fucking bitch. Now there's no one in our net. Look, we're chasing. We're chasing him. I'm trying to demo this guy and I can't do it. So then I just chase back here. I'm trying to 50 this guy. And look what he does. He does some insane shit. He freaking pinches the ball in the worst way possible. But somehow it just goes right above me. It goes right above me perfectly. And it's just gone right over my brother too. And they just score a goal. Actually, my teammate scores an own goal. He really scores an own goal. So look, positioning is really important in this game. It puts you and your teammates in awkward spots. Don't be that guy that just, you know, creates these big gaps on your team. Like you don't want to be that guy. If you do create that big gap, don't challenge. Just don't challenge. Be passive now because it's too late. It's too late. The other team's already on your ass chasing you. So again, and I'll try to explain this a little bit, but like you wanna change your formation in the way you play things sometimes. Like you don't want to always play down the sideline. If you play down the sideline, it's just you're creating brain rot Rocket League. Like I'm not even gonna lie. You're just playing Rocket League to just play it, but you're not really trying to get better at it. You're not trying to win a game at that rate. You're just playing the game. So like really don't try to do all that shit. Really understand where your team is at, where the enemy team is at. Like look at this. They are in a triangle formation and it's upside down. Meaning if this guy was to hit the ball to Francisco, Francisco would then hit the ball to Gladiator. If they were a good team. Or swiftly to Gladiator, back to Francisco, and my brother would have been fucked. Okay? This is this terrible positioning from us to begin with. Because we have no one in the middle. Instead, it's our last man in the middle, which is not good. You don't want that to happen. You don't want your last man to be against two against one. Okay? Ever. Ever. Especially when the team is like passing, you don't want to ever lose that 2v1. Understand your positioning. This is just caused by straight chaos, bro, honestly. I just want to kind of like give you all that understanding of formation. Like you want to know actually though, like in esports, like this player right here, the second man right here, this is second man, this is third man, this is first man. But in this upside down triangle, this is second man, this is first man, and this is third man. This third man is supposed to be the most mechanically gifted player on your team because your two guys are throwing everything at the other team, which is putting them with no boost. Okay, first of all, they're supposed to put them with no boost. Then, usually, they'll just boom ball the ball to you. You'll take a touch, and you'll have time to make plays. You'll literally have time to make plays. You'll see it happening. There'll be plays where it's like, it's just popped up for you on a platter and you just take it to the air, double tap or whatever the hell you want to do. But again, if you are in this position and you are not mechanically that good, it's obviously going to give your team a hard time. So you guys want to try to fix that. You guys kind of want to have a guy who sits in that spot all the time. Like some of the esports teams actually have a player sitting there the whole game while the other guys are doing whatever. So in an upside down triangle, the guy in the middle is mainly receiving passes, doing demos, or rotating behind the third man just in case he needs help. The first man is doing the same thing. He should be going for 50s, he should be going for solo plays too, and then also going for demos. Also, it's supposed to be really the most unselfish player on the team because you are the first man, which is basically you're supposed to have a brain. You're supposed to have a big brain idea of, okay, I need to slow the game down or I need to fasten it up. If there is space, as first man, you should always know there is gonna be areas to pass the ball to your teammate. So this is what important about first man. First man is usually supposed to be the passer or the solo playmaker that also is just like the second man. So you guys can always flip flop these two guys, but you can never flip flop this guy because this guy right here, in my case, I'm usually like that too. But I am mechanically good because I started playing this position more often because my brother's not really good at this position, to be honest with you. It's actually really hard. You gotta position yourself perfectly. Like Had if you position yourself higher, you just get, boom balled over you, and then now your defending is harder. So you have to position yourself perfectly, and then you gotta also know how to defend, and like it's really hard. But in this situation, as a guy who's receiving the passes, you have the job the easiest. You just gotta follow the play. Look at the other team, demo them, figure out the gap, play in that gap. Like, okay, let's say I demoed Gladiator. There's a gap on the right side. So if the ball was to come over here and now we're playing, we could then play to the right side and just, create something out of it. Place it here, and then now we flip it back to the left side and it's a goal. You want to be creative. You want to. Demoing is annoying. I get that. But with this formation, it's really annoying because if you are in this diamond upside down triangle formation and this guy gets demoed, it's over for your team. You got to realize if the team is playing demos, that's it. You cannot play this formation. I'll tell you that right now. Just try out some things in Rocket League. Try out a formation or two. Like understand positioning and really like try to understand your own type of strategies in this game. Like there's a lot. There's a lot of things you could do. You could play really defensive or really attack, or just literally passive. You could do whatever passing play type of play, or the solo one, which is basically go down the sideline. It's whatever. People do that now, but there's so much more to the game, and some people's brains are not as clicking as some people are. So try to understand that perspective of the game. Like there's more to it than just boom balling it on one side into the corner, hoping that it bounces perfectly to your second guy. You know, you want to be the one that passes it actually perfectly. You don't want the wall to pass it perfectly. So I want you guys to try to understand that aspect, because this is the part where it actually switches into strategy and mind games. And when stat starts coming into the game, that's really like when you start understanding the game, that it's more than just a mechanically played game now. Because look, in champ, you guys are all supposed to be mechanically gifted, okay? Everyone is supposed to be good at shit in that. And the only way to beat someone in that shit is really through passing plays, because now everyone is playing down the line, which creates a gap in the middle. I don't want to yap too much, bro, because I already yapped earlier, and I think my earlier yap was so much better. But, shit happens sometimes, bro, and you can't just use the same words all over again. You're not gonna think of it like that, but yeah, try to understand these formations, like these little setups. Each like teams do it on accident too, and they don't realize that they're doing it. You know, I've done it so many times on accident. I didn't realize what the hell we were doing, but we were doing it until I started realizing we'd started doing it way too much, and then I started realizing a flaw to it. You start understanding the play style. You start understanding the counter to it, and whenever you play a team that's just shitting on you guys, you want to understand why it's shitting on you. Like, why are you getting so annoyed by it? This happens a lot to me. So, and it's probably happened a lot to y'all. So there's a lot of things to it. I can't really give you all the flaws and shit, to be honest with you, because that'll be a whole nother video. I'd have to literally like experience all of it. There could be anything could be a flaw in Rocket League. Anything could be a flaw, and it all depends on you and your teammates. Sometimes you guys have a flaw just because you backflip or front flip, or like shit like that ruins a game. So you can have all this strategy and then you backflip and you mess up the whole game. But it's just that's what just Rocket League is, bro. It's shit like that happens, and you want to at least get down this part of the game, because mistakes are something that's gonna happen, and you don't want to dwell on the mistakes as much as you want to dwell on understanding how a team beats you in the first place. I can understand like you just lost a game because just don't get mad at those games. Really don't get mad at those games. You can blame all the controls, just go get a new one. I've been blaming on my freaking controller the whole freaking time, but I still play good. But there's moments where it sells your fucking rank. I get it. But it could be worse. You could be not understanding the game at all and losing like a motherfucking maniac. And you're just blowing your brains out because you just don't understand why the hell you're losing. So try to understand the way y'all lose, and you'll probably get way better. And that's my end motivational quote of the day. So, I'll see you later, jerkers.